is Stalk. Here we are with the former and current FFA advisors. You guys can introduce yourselves.
I'm the former Dwayne Postma.
And I'm the current Josh Rock.
And I'm Elio Enriquez. I'm currently a junior, and I'm the historian at Central Line FFA. So let's get started with the first question. When and how did we get our FFA charter for the Central Line FFA?
Well, I'll start that off. I'm not exactly sure exactly how it all comes about, but I would very safely guess that we live in a very agricultural community, and the people of our community felt like we need to have this. But it started in the 1949-50 school year. I know that much for sure, Mr. Rockill.
That's really about all I know or can go off of. Also, is that we have our certificate of chapter charter, and 1949 and 1950.
And that would have been called the Rock Rapids FFA. As far as that goes, and moving just like 10 years or so forward, the name changed to Central Lyon FFA. That's when Dune joined the Rock Rapids community to form Central Lyon Community Schools. So there was a name change in there as well.
It's cool that we have like a record of all these things that we can look back to. But yeah, I should have asked you, how long have you guys been teaching at Central Lyon for FFA?
32 years for me at Central Lyon. I was very fortunate to get the job right out of college, right here at my home school where I graduated from. Mr. Rockill is one of my former students.
I am.
I was just really lucky for 32 years. And now we're lucky to have who we have now. And how long have you been doing it, Mr. Rockill?
I've been here for 6. So yeah, it's crazy to think that it's already been 6 years, but yeah,
Neat.
6 years.
Yeah, it's been a really cool journey that we've been on. Okay, the next question is, how many people first joined our local chapter, if you guys know?
I
Couldn't answer that.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are good.
I do know this. My first year was 1984-85, and when I came in, we had 32 members, and we did not have any girl members that particular year. So that takes you back to the mid-'80s at least, I guess. It's kind of hard maybe to find out those exact sizes, but I don't think it was extraordinarily large, the classes.
And how much have we grown over the years? Do you know the current?
Right now, and obviously back in the day, and it just wasn't necessarily always the most common to have female individuals within the ag program, and that's definitely something that has changed drastically over the years. And right now I currently have 70 FFA members. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's wonderful, yeah.
It's definitely grown over the years. Do you have any things to talk about, like how our chapter has evolved over the years and some things that we've progressed?
Well,
you mentioned the girls, girls joining, but is there any other?
Mr. Rockill and I were talking a little bit ago about this. I think we've evolved very similarly to how agriculture has evolved. All from in the beginning years and up until not terribly long ago, VOAG class or ag classes were primarily, the kids that were involved were farm kids. It was primarily farming. But that is, as you know, Eleonora, that's way different now. It's all of agriculture in all aspects, and that's really the way it should be. So that's been a neat evolution, kind of a natural one. Really, really cool technology, everything involved with that. I would guess, pretty typical.
Yeah, and just kind of to piggyback on that, we were asked, or I was asked on Monday evening at the board meeting how many FFA members that I have are directly on the farm, or how many are then, I guess, removed from the farm. And I actually did a little bit of research background on all of you guys, I guess, today, and I actually am only in the 30 to 40% of kids that are directly on the farm, and the rest of the chapter is removed. I don't know how many generations, I guess, and or directly have any relation necessarily to agriculture. And I guess as far as like the changes and stuff, you know, things like you're doing here, and technology has just been a huge path maker for a lot of different avenues for agriculture.
Way beyond the production part of it, which is still very important, but now it's all the technologies of genetics and agronomy and everything thrown in. It's an incredible opportunity for young people. And when I think back 30 years ago, I often would kind of factor in how many were just pure farm kids. That has definitely gradually evolved to where we're at today.
Yep.
I remember times where there were 70%, as high as that. Yeah. But now, we have fewer farms out there, and that's all part of it too.
Yep.
It's crazy to see how much we've changed over the years. People that first started this organization wouldn't imagine at all what we'd be like today. It's really cool.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how many American degrees do we have from this chapter?
Yeah. Mr. Postman and I were just talking a little bit earlier, and we know of Taylor Van Ruppel, was, I guess, the one that I can remember, and then Devin Miller, Reese Borman, and Dana Cruz and Elizabeth Heiser.
And those two will be getting theirs next week.
Yep, a national convention. I guess from there we'd have to probably look into a little bit more of our chapter and state records of who's the American degrees, and just a little tidbit on the American degrees. Every year, less than 1% of FFA members, college FFA members that retain their membership earn their American degree. It's the highest award that can be bestowed upon a FFA member, and it's definitely a huge achievement based on of their SAE projects and community service and their dedication to their home chapters. So
I liken the American degree as you know, so many people want to put things in sports terms. It's like being an all-American FFA member.
Yeah, essentially.
You know, it's very, very elite. And I know we had some that go back to the beginning, but we may have to, we were just talking before, we may have to get a hold of the state to help us with that, because local records, we don't have of that.
Right.
Or maybe somebody might hear this that received one.
Yep.
That'd be cool to hear
let
that.
us know. That would be
Yeah, you guys
awesome.
can comment down below or reach out to us if you guys have any ideas or any comments to make about any of the information you hear. But yeah, it's really cool that we have so many American degrees just from this chapter, and it takes a lot of work to get it. And
Yes.
it's really cool that we have a lot. So the next question is, how many, or do you have any notable achievements that our chapter has done, or something that sets us apart from other chapters?
Well, I think one thing that does, and it's a cool thing, and it too is evolving. We were one of the, at least in this part of the state, we were one of the very first chapters that owned its own sort of a little piece of farm property.
Yeah.
And now it's so cool to see that all evolving and changing as well. And I think that is a little bit of a set apart. It's been a very, I tell you what, it's been a very challenging / rewarding thing, I think. Wouldn't you say,
for
Mr.
sure.
Rocket?
Yep, it is.
Yeah, that might be one thing. I think, I don't know if it sets us apart so much, but the girls' involvement is wonderful. And that has really grown. I think that's more than evolved, that's just exploded. And that is really wonderful. Really wonderful.
Really agree with that. I guess statewide or even nationally, I mean, I'm able to see at least some resources that other chapters have, and just being able to have access to the FFA farm, and we're growing it and trying to obviously make advancements to make it better for the future, and being able to have 2 FFA members this year keep some of their fair livestock or fair animals that they wanted to exhibit at the Lyon County Fair there, and that's what the farm's meant for, is just trying to give kids opportunities to obviously be able to do different things.
Producing honey.
Oh yes.
Good example of what that offers. That's really neat. It's all part of agriculture. It's very important.
And when did we get the FFA farm, for the people that don't know?
It's been quite a while. It would have been in the early 2000s. So we've had it, yeah, maybe even before that. I'd have to check for sure, but it's been, I was just talking to James Montag out, and James was very active way back in his day. So if you're out there, James, maybe you could help us.
Let us know.
James and Tyler Peterson, Danny Gissoff, some of them guys. So it goes back, at least it's safely 20 years for sure, yeah. Yeah.
So it's been with us for a few generations. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
And so the next question is there any like notable officer teams that you'd like to talk about or mention?
Very notable for me, and when I read that question, would have been the 92-93 group led by Central Line FFA's first girl president, Natalie Schulte, Natalie Schneiderman today. That was very special, and I think for anybody that would be special for our chapter. It's pretty cool. Man, we've had a lot of gals, officers, and several other presidents since then. And that's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it's always been just sort of a built-in guy thing, but it's totally not that way anymore, and that's a wonderful deal.
Yep. Yeah, and notable officer team. I think every officer that we have on the team brings something to the table. So I guess for me, only being a part of this for 8 years of teaching, I guess. You're all notable in some way, shape, or form, I guess. So, someday I'm sure I'll get to that point and be like, yep, this was my team. But right now, I think you're all doing a great job.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work, and then it's a lot of commitment for every one of you.
Yep.
It's really fun though, and it's a really unique experience too, that I don't think any other organization really has that offers that type of experience.
I've said for many, many years, and I know Mr. Rockhill will totally agree with this, the FFA is the best youth organization in the world.
For sure.
I have no doubts in my mind. I never have.
I agree. I think a lot of people would too. They just aren't really aware of all the benefits that come with it.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what are the types of things that our chapter have been involved in over the years, and how have we kind of helped the community throughout the years? I'm just starting these off. One of the things, and I know Mr. Rockhill is doing a great job continuing it. For me, I was really proud, and still am very proud of our farm safety, our agricultural safety program. We work with the extension office on. We get dozens and dozens and dozens of kids every year, and if over these years, and we've been doing it for quite a while. If over these years that has saved one young person, saved a life, or saved one from getting seriously injured, then the whole thing is totally worth it. And I have no doubt that has been the case. The community involvement from it is incredible, from our agribusinesses, from the extension service, and I think that's a real feather in the hat of Central Line FFA to be involved in that.
Right.
Just as one example.
Yeah. And I know Mr. Postman did it when he was here, and we're just kind of piggybacking and taking that idea about with our Operation Feed the Farmers, and just we're gonna pilot that next week, and I think that it's just a good opportunity for you guys as students, young agriculturalists, and just be able to get out there and obviously show our appreciation for the farmers, and obviously just saying thank you. And obviously a lunch is minimal, but at the same time, we want to show our support for their hard work, and good or bad years. And yes, the Farm Safety Day Camp, and recently we've helped a couple elderly individuals move out of their homes, and just trying to make sure that we're out in the community. And part of being a part of FFA is servant leadership, and putting others in front of ourselves and their needs, and just trying to help anyone, I guess, however we can.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, whenever I tell people that I'm in FFA, they always know me from all the community work that we've done, and they always come up and talk to me like, oh yeah, you've done this for me or stuff like that. And it's really cool that the community is aware of all the stuff that we do for them. So we're very involved, and the community members really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So the last question is, how has the FFA program kind of influenced our school?
Oh, man.
Like some programs that we put on for the
Yeah.
school.
All the activities during National FFA Week.
Yeah.
So many traditions that have carried on through all these generations and years and everything. It has become a very, very, very important part of our school fabric, no doubt. You know, you just look at 70 members. You know, that's like a third of our entire student body. And it's always been somewhere in that neighborhood. Just that alone, you know, when you're talking a third of your members, a third of your high school belongs to the FFA. That says something right there. So it's kind of that way throughout the entire community. People know about Central Lyon FFA, and Mr. Rockhill said it best. It's about servant leadership within the community. And it's been that way for a long time. It's a tradition, I think, of FFAs in general, but I think you talk about setting ourselves apart a little bit, maybe we're a little bit more that way than a lot of chapters are. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And people feel good about our chapter. I know our administrators are very supportive and all that type of thing. So it's definitely a big part of this school system. Wouldn't you agree?
I would, and you know, I think just being able to get rid of that stigma of like you got to be a farm kid or whatever like that. You know, I see so many of you guys being involved with. You know, I said in our last podcast, you working at the Humane Society. Well, you know, that's a completely different experience from. I guess I'll name drop like Carter Krull or Kaya Thiessen, other former FFA members, Nash and Ned Knobloch, a lot of great members that have graduated from this program. And as long as you guys are willing to just kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit and just be okay with kind of the unknowns and be okay with trying to get that experience, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I can say that the FFA has made a really big impact on the school because they always ask me, oh, when is FFA National Week? When are we going to do that? And it's so cool that people that I never thought would ever care about FFA, they all still know a little bit of something just because of the programs that we do and the activities we get to do around the school, which I think is really cool that people get to experience those things.
Yeah. And for all of you former FFA members out there from a long time ago, we know many of you.
For sure.
Central Lyon FFA is kicking butt and is alive and well, doing very well. This group we have going, led by Mr. Rockhill right today, is incredible. So keep up the good work for what we're doing today. That's very important. We talk about history, but now we're talking about today, and you guys are just awesome. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. Led by you guys, so.
Well, do you guys have any closing thoughts? Any last comments?
FFA all the way. For me.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for watching the second episode of the podcast, and stay tuned next month for the next one.